In the top left part of the map, currently tied with his opponent, it is our pink Protoss player, Oxygen.
And at the bottom right of King Sejong Station Ladder Edition, taking game 2 rather convincingly, turning the tables backwards. It is our purple Zerg player, Caesura. Swanky.
So we're looking at this map. It's kind of funny whenever I think about it that it has become a map which I do find relatively enjoyable as a Protoss player. Maybe because it's like the most fun map to Oracle proxy on, but
Yes.
it is actually turned into a pretty legit map in its own right. We first looked at the ramps and we thought, this is going to be one of those maps where it's just hard to wall off against early pushes as Protoss. But turns out that's not really the case. There's enough of a distance between the two bases that you're usually fine. So it's turned out to be another one of those maps which, like Overgrowth, has actually been played in a lot of tournaments.
I personally also like King Sejong. Definitely, I don't know, spawning in both corners, rush action going on. I think that it makes for games that feel better in the first place. You're not fighting scrappy with cheese, depending on the cheese, of course. Good luck. Low. I guess they forgot to.
Good luck, have fun.
Yeah, spawning pool going down for Case again before Hatchery. Hatchery is on the way now. Like it worked well last game, so if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
No, I mean, this does give you a little bit more to work with if he does go for the fast spawning pool play again, which he's not, by the way. Spoiler alert. But if that were to happen again, it's a little bit more possible to defend it if you have the gateway out than obviously if you go Nexus first. Nexus first gets kind of hard countered by that. It happens. Honestly, especially when you're in a situation like this, it's important as much as possible to just kind of shrug and move on.
Yep. You can see Oxy.
Can't worry about it too much.
Right, he's already taking measures against it too, where the placement of his pylon and his gateway, and Cyber Core, just in case. Just in case. Okay.
Horrible.
All right. I had to throw one in there tonight. All right.
So yeah, so far, I don't, I know we're getting a bit off the game here, but so far I don't think Steps of War has actually been put into that map, has it? Have they announced all the maps in it yet?
I got my fingers crossed. I hope it's not. That's gonna be terrible to ladder with. Absolutely terrible.
No, we'll go back to the game. We'll look that up later.
Yep,
so yeah, people expanding, building walls, dealing with lings in their bases, in the faces.
Zergling it. Looking away at the Nexus. Just being annoying. All starting to go down. There are Zerglings here now, though. Zealots should be able to clean them up.
Yeah, this is frustrating to deal with, but with the Mothership Core, there's really not much that the Lings can do beyond Scout. And that's only if they have one or two in there to take a couple extra shots. So he's going to just huff it back home. No reason to lose his life. Half-life? Life? Whatever. I was just trying to think of how to describe that, because these guys are technically 0.5 supply.
Technically, yeah. I guess they are half-lives. Are they really 0.5 supply?
I think so.
So if you have four of them, that only equals...
I don't think if you make one pair of Lings, do they cost 2 supply? I don't think so. The rest wouldn't be able to make that many.
I don't think so, actually. Should be interesting. But...
I don't know why I'm thinking about this now. I mean, this is something I've technically known since Brute Force, so it's not like it's not news to anybody. But
Mr. Samsara getting greedy here. Dropping a third and fourth hatchery. Oof. This could potentially work, given the fact that Oxy has walled himself inside his own base. Gas is going down.
Blinking time.
Blink, blink. 2 more gateways.
This is actually a really excellent map for this. There's so many places you can blink into the main base.
Yes. Particularly, I like watching Mr. Huck on ladder. He does this very well. I like his blink control. He's always found places with his mothership core to kind of poke into the main base, and MC as well. MC is a very good blink player.
So one of the things that I don't think people talk about a lot is to actually make blink work. It's not just simply a matter of having good micro. You need to be very, very good at predicting how your opponent is going to react, especially if they're Zerg. Their units are very fast, so they need to be pretty wildly out of position for you to be able to blink in and out of the base like that, even unless you're using it for direct defensive purposes, in which case it's just an ordinary engagement with micro overlaid on top of it. But if you are the kind of person that wants to blink around the map like that, you need to be inside your opponent's head pretty hard.
But yeah, strategizing is always very important. You gotta know where your opponent's gonna be before you blink there. Well, a little slow part of the game here. Still watching these player macro up. Oxy's gonna get out on the map. Out with his probe. And honestly, this is the worst thing he could be doing right now, is waiting. The Zerg is going to rocket ahead once the larva kicks in, and all these bases get mining. He's going to have a hard time keeping up.
Actually starting to, the more I look at this, kind of getting that vibe that this might be kind of harkening back to that fast Roach Max. I'm not an expert on Zerg, but we're seeing the Roach Warren popping out. He's going up to 4 bases. He's getting his drone count up as high as he possibly can really, really quickly. And he's grabbing Lair Tech. Okay, no, he's going Lynx. So this might just be... Might not be. It's definitely not that. I take that back. But I kind of want to see it. It's still good, believe it or not. Like, it's not as great as it used to be. Still gets countered by a bunch of things Protoss can do. But...
A little bit of a proxy play here from Oxy.
22... He's got, what, 22 Lings. He's got some Roaches starting to come out, along with Roach Speed being researched. There isn't really adequate defenses for this. I think Case is probably going to have to sack a base to survive this.
Pylon's leaping forward here. Stalker's going to move in.
Oh, run. Oh, yeah, he's going to see that. Be like, nope, force fields suck. I'm not dealing with it. On the upside, Case can actually... Ooh, good move. Going around the back end to take care of the reinforcement pile. And there's another one on the high ground, though. So the losses he's taken here may not be exactly worth it, but... Yeah, he's getting driven back.
Lose all those lanes to the Zealots. Poking at the Overlord as well. That can't be good.
Ooh. He's pushed him up to the natural. And yeah, now he's going to go for this third base. If he can get the drones out of here, he's kind of okay economically, because he can just mine from that other base. But losing them on top of this would be pretty brutal for Case, and that Time Warp's going to make engaging here properly a little bit difficult. That defensive advantage, though, can't really underestimate that, as he's finally starting to break through the line. Starting to force the blinks going on top of the army. Can't really blink away anymore. He's killed most of the sentries, and it looks like Oxy may have missed his window. Nope. Counter push is happening. Again, still hasn't really actually used too much blink, but all the Stalkers are getting essentially forced, just focused down, so blinking out with them hasn't really been possible. And it looks like Oxy's been pushed back. Apparently permanently.
Series goes to Caesura.
I'm a bit surprised by that. I thought he had that there for a moment, but...
Yeah, it seemed okay. I didn't like the engagement on the creep, essentially, but I guess if he felt like there was no swinging back from that,
no.
Can't blame him for
something was missing there, but whatever.
out.